A man walks into a system that's drowning in corruption.
ഓർമ്മയുണ്ടോ ഈ മുഖം?
He's angry, he's righteous, he's a one-man army.
Just remember that.
He lectures ministers, slaps goons, and walks away in slow motion even as explosions go off behind him. You've seen this movie before, and in fact, if you've grown up in Kerala, you've probably watched it many times over. Starring one man, Suresh Gopi. From the no-nonsense cop Bharat Chandran IPS in Commissioner to the fiery journalist in Patram, Suresh Gopi wasn't just acting. He was an institution of fury, a one-man morality play.
പറയില്ല നീ പറയിക്കില്ല നിന്നെ കൊണ്ട് പറയാൻ പാടില്ല നീ.
His monologues could probably register on the Richter scale.
Just count on.
But in 2024, the man who once roasted politicians on screen managed a coup, and he walked away with a historic political win. Thrissur, Kerala's cultural capital, elected its first ever BJP MP. And it wasn't because voters suddenly developed a taste for Hindutva, it was mostly because of him. The man, the myth, the meme, Suresh Gopi.
നിങ്ങൾ ആരാ?
Except, let's be honest, politician or not, he never really left the movies. He just took the set with him.
And what is the circus which is going on in the name of politics in the whole of the state?
Because in his mind, he's still that righteous officer. Only now the villains in the story are journalists who are asking him questions.
മാധ്യമമാരാ
Don't try to play the fool with me, Nikesh.
സൗകര്യമില്ല പറയാൻ.
He's not serving as an MP, he's performing as one. And last year, he even said he was ready to become Bharat Chandran in real life if the public wanted. And it looks like he meant it. In one recent video, he's wearing a shirt printed with his own face, or rather Bharat Chandran IPS's face. It's almost poetic. Because behind the theatrics, behind the memes, the mass dialogues, and the macho posturing, there's a serious political story. One about how a fading superstar found new life in saffron. How he marked the media as his antagonist and treats politics mostly like a big feudal system where no one can ask questions. Let me explain. Hey, let me remind you, out here, there's no Bharat Chandran IPS. Just reporters asking questions that need answers.
Just remember that.
That's our job. To investigate, to question, and sometimes to face a little fury for doing so. So if you want journalism that keeps asking uncomfortable questions, then subscribe to the News Minute today. You can support me and my team to continue doing videos like this. Now let's be fair. Suresh Gopi's win wasn't some overnight miracle. The BJP had been trying to crack the state for years now. Kerala, with its strong left legacy, cadre-based Congress party, and a powerful secular streak, just didn't bite. Suresh Gopi showed up with something that the BJP had been missing: emotional currency.
എനിക്ക് ഈ തൃശ്ശൂർ വേണം. നിങ്ങൾ എനിക്ക് ഈ തൃശ്ശൂർ തരണം. ഈ തൃശ്ശൂർ ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങ് എടുക്കുക.
Before he was a candidate, he was a giver. The actor's philanthropy had quietly built a reputation that politicians could only dream of. Through his trust, he funded surgeries, built homes, arranged weddings, and provided relief for those left behind by the system. So when he asked for votes, the people of Thrissur didn't just see a politician, they also saw a charitable man, the star who cried at funerals, the benefactor who built homes, the hero who always somehow came through. The BJP built his campaign around that image, not ideology. The saffron was secondary. Even before the polls, when he was a Rajya Sabha member, Suresh Gopi delivered quite a few headlines. There was the Kainitam controversy, where he distributed small Vishu gifts from his car, letting people touch his feet as he handed out coins. Critics called it tone-deaf and feudal. He said it was just tradition. Just weeks before the Lok Sabha elections, a video went viral of him scolding his own party workers for the low turnout at a campaign event.
എന്താണ് ബൂത്തിന്റെ ജോലി?
Anyway, he won with 4 lakh votes, beating both the Congress and the CPI. And doing what the BJP had been dreaming of since the 1980s. But then came the first plot twist. He didn't want to be a minister.
എന്നെ ഒന്ന് ഒഴിവാക്കി ഇദ്ദേഹത്തെ മന്ത്രിയാക്കിയാൽ
He simply wanted to finish his movies and then maybe sign more projects.
എനിക്ക് എൻ്റെ സിനിമ തുടരണം. ഒരു മന്ത്രിയായാൽ അതൊക്കെ വലിയ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടാണ്. എനിക്ക് സിനിമാ അഭിനയം തുടരണം, ഒരുപാട് സമ്പാദിക്കണം.
It was almost a punishment that he was made a minister of state for petroleum and natural gas. And ever since that, Suresh Gopi has always been in the news. A comment suggesting that upper caste ministers should handle tribal welfare drew heavy backlash and a hasty clarification.
ഒരു ഉന്നത കുലജാതൻ അവരുടെ ഉന്നമനത്തിന് വേണ്ടി ട്രൈബൽ മന്ത്രിയാവണം.
Then the incident in Thrissur, where he rudely turned away an elderly man's petition saying this isn't even an MP's job. And another when he snapped at an elderly woman during a public event. Chechi, don't talk too much. That's what he said.
നിങ്ങളുടെ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രിയുടെ ചേച്ചി അധികം വർത്താനം പറയല്ലേ.
Even his election win in Thrissur hasn't escaped controversy. A local court has sought a police report on allegations that Suresh Gopi and his family engaged in illegal voting, casting ballots in Thrissur despite being registered in Thiruvananthapuram. In fact, Thrissur is one of the constituencies where Congress and the left allege that vote chori happened. And like many other parachuted politicians, Suresh Gopi has also faced complaints from his own constituents that he is missing quite literally. The Kerala Students' Union even filed a tongue-in-cheek missing person complaint saying their MP hadn't been seen in Thrissur for months now. It's telling that to this day he still refers to voters not as citizens but as Praja, that's his subjects.
ഞാൻ കടപ്പെട്ടിരിക്കുന്നത് പ്രജകളോട് മാത്രമാണ്.
And if there's one group that's felt the full force of his commissioner era temper, it's the media.
മാധ്യമാരാ സൗകര്യമല്ല പറയാൻ.
Suresh Gopi's tryst with the media, especially with women journalists, has been one of the more troubling chapters in his new career. It probably began when a case was registered against him in Kozhikode after a female journalist accused him of behaving inappropriately during a press meet. Looking at the video of that incident, what stands out is his body language, like a gesture that said, "Settle down." Even his apology later carried the same tone. He was sorry only because she felt bad, not because he thought he'd done anything wrong. At another press meet, when cornered by a different female journalist about the same incident, Suresh Gopi joked with a male journalist nearby. He asked if he can put his hand on his shoulder. When the woman questioned this behavior, he turned on her instantly. "Don't you dare show off," he said. Refusing to continue until she was asked to leave.
Do you want me to continue? Ask her to move back.
Later, he was summoned by the police to give his statement in the journalist's complaint, and he didn't go alone. An entourage of supporters accompanied him to the station as if it was another mass entry scene. In recent months, Suresh Gopi has managed to pick fights with many in the media. During a campaign in Wayanad, he referred to the Waqf board as a 4-lettered monstrosity and that union government would pull off its spine. When a 24 News reporter later asked him about the backlash, Suresh Gopi summoned him in person and threatened him, saying, "I'll show you in Parliament." Then there was the Thrissur episode. When asked about the Hema Committee report, which investigated sexual harassment in Malayalam cinema, Suresh Gopi lost his temper yet again. He shoved aside a reporter from Media One and snapped, "My way is my right," and he stormed off. Each of these moments has chipped away at the line between an actor and the minister.
Just remember that.
You get the feeling that somewhere along the way, Suresh Gopi stopped playing the righteous officer and started being him.
Does the Chief Minister of Kerala have the guts to have...
And when he looks at the press, he doesn't see accountability. He sees antagonists. And every press conference becomes another confrontation scene.
നിങ്ങൾ ആരാണ്, നിങ്ങൾ ആരോടാ ചോദിക്കുന്നത്? വളരെ സൂക്ഷിച്ച് സംസാരിക്കണം.
It's hard to see this hostility as accidental because it plays out like political theatre. It's just disappointing because Kerala's media culture, however messy or problematic, has long been central to the state's democratic fabric. And when a sitting union minister treats it like a prop, the line between real and real doesn't just blur, it breaks. But to understand the Suresh Gopi phenomenon, you have to see the broader plot. It's about the BJP's long, slow script for Kerala. Thrissur wasn't just any seat. It's where faith and culture meet politics. A city where large temple purams, churches and mosques coexist within a few streets. And in that melting pot, the BJP saw its best chance, not in ideology, but in iconography. Who better than a superstar, someone who could bypass political divides and appeal to emotion, nostalgia and pride? Suresh Gopi, in a sense, became the BJP's pilot project, the proof that saffron politics could enter Kerala through sentiment and not sermons. And it worked, at least for now. But you can't govern with star power alone. The cracks are already showing. His public outbursts have turned into memes, and his political presence in Delhi, well, remains, let's say, at best not exactly blockbuster material. In Parliament, he's made few interventions. Even his party colleagues have understood that the man's temper, after all, doesn't retire with age. While the BJP could get a victory, these daily controversies are not auguring well for the party.